The town of Willow Creek had always been peaceful. People knew each other by name, and children played freely in the streets. But tonight, the town seemed different. The sky was dark and heavy, full of angry clouds that moved quickly. The wind tore through the trees, making their branches slam against each other with loud cracks. Rain fell in thick sheets, making it hard to see anything more than a few feet ahead. The storm had arrived suddenly, catching everyone by surprise. Officer Sam tightened the collar of his jacket and looked at Max, his loyal German shepherd. Max was more than just a police dog. He was brave, smart, and had an incredible sense for danger. His fur was golden brown and slick from the rain, but his eyes shone with focus. He stood beside Sam, muscles tense, ears pointing forward, sensing every sound around him. "This storm is worse than I thought," Sam muttered. "We need to be careful, Max." Max let out a low bark as if to say he was ready for whatever came their way. Sam smiled, even in the middle of the storm. He had worked with Max for years and trusted him completely. Together they had faced many emergencies, but tonight felt different. The radio in Sam's jacket crackled, breaking the sound of the rain. A frantic voice shouted through the static, "Officer Sam, please, you have to help. My house is flooding, and my children are trapped inside." Sam's heart skipped a beat. "Where is it?" he shouted back, holding the microphone tightly. The voice gave him the address, and Sam quickly memorized it. "Max, we have to move fast. Someone's life depends on us," Sam said. Max barked loudly, his tail straight and stiff. He did not need to be told twice. The two of them ran into the storm, Sam's boots slipping on the wet pavement. The wind hit them like a wall, and rain poured into their eyes, but Sam kept running. Max ran beside him, strong and determined. His paws splashed through puddles, leaving ripples in the water that covered the streets. As they approached the house, Sam saw that water was already rising dangerously. The street had become a river, carrying leaves, small branches, and debris along with it. The house belonged to the Miller family. From the outside, Sam could see the water level reaching halfway up the walls. The front door was open, water flowing in and out as though the house was breathing. Inside, Lily and her little brother Timmy were clinging to each other. The fear in their eyes made Sam's heart ache. Lily, who was only 8 years old, tried to be brave for her younger brother. Timmy, just 5, was shaking and crying softly. Their parents were out of town for the evening, leaving the children alone in the storm. "Stay calm, children. We're here to help you," Sam shouted over the roar of the wind. Max, sensing the urgency, jumped into the water. The current was strong, but Max's powerful legs cut through it easily. He swam toward the children, his body strong and steady. When he reached them, he nudged Timmy gently, letting the boy know he was safe. Sam stepped into the water and lifted Lily, holding her tightly. The water pulled at their legs as they moved back toward the street. Max led the way, swimming against the flow, guiding them to a safe area. The neighbors had gathered nearby, waving and shouting, their umbrellas collapsing in the storm. When Sam and Max reached the dry ground, the crowd cheered. Some of them clapped, while others ran to help dry the children and comfort them. Max shook off the water, droplets flying everywhere. His fur was messy and wet, but his eyes remained alert. He had saved the children, but he knew the storm was not over. The wind howled louder, and a strange, distant sound caught Max's attention. It was soft at first, almost hidden beneath the roar of the storm, but it was there. A faint cry, almost human, coming from the alley behind the Miller house. Max's ears perked up. He growled softly, a sound that made everyone nearby take a small step back. The dog did not act aggressively, but his instincts told him something was wrong. Sam noticed Max's change in behavior immediately. "What is it, boy?" he asked. Max barked once and ran toward the alley, leaving Sam no choice but to follow him. The alley was narrow, filled with trash bins and puddles. Water ran through it quickly, carrying small pieces of debris. As they moved deeper, the cry became clearer. It was coming from inside a small storage shed at the end of the alley. Max's fur bristled, and he let out a loud bark. Sam pushed open the door of the shed, careful not to get hurt. Inside, they found a small shivering puppy trapped under a pile of wet boxes. Its fur was soaked, and its tiny body trembled from fear and cold. Max approached slowly, sniffing the puppy. He nudged it gently with his nose, as if to say, "It's okay, you're safe now." The puppy whined but did not move. Sam knelt down and lifted it carefully, wrapping it in his jacket to keep it warm. The discovery of the puppy was surprising. In the middle of such a terrible storm, someone had abandoned this little animal, leaving it to suffer in the rain. Max seemed to understand the puppy's fear. He licked its face softly, comforting it. Sam smiled, even though his clothes were soaked. "You're a hero, Max. You've saved more than just the children tonight," he said. As they walked back toward the main street, the storm showed no signs of stopping. Rain lashed against them, and the wind tried to push them backward, but Sam, Max, and the rescued puppy continued forward. The neighbors looked at them in awe, whispering about Max's bravery. Even in the worst weather, he had risked his life to save others. Back at the Miller house, Lily and Timmy hugged Max tightly. The children's relief was clear, and their fear slowly faded. The puppy, now wrapped in a dry blanket, wagged its tiny tail at Max. Max looked at Sam, then at the children, and finally at the puppy. His chest rose and fell as he panted, but his eyes were still alert. He knew that the storm was not done yet, and there might be more people or animals in danger, and Max's senses were sharp. Even as everyone else began to relax, he stayed alert. The strange cry in the alley had been the first clue. He knew there was something unusual happening in the town during this storm. Something hidden, something that required his courage and sharp instincts. Max's tail lifted slightly as he listened to the sounds around him. The rain, the wind, and the distant thunder all mixed into one loud symphony. But Max could pick out every tiny noise. Officer Sam watched Max with admiration. He had seen the dog perform many heroic acts before, but tonight felt different. Max was not just saving lives. He was sensing danger before anyone else could see it. Sam trusted Max completely, knowing that wherever the dog led, there was a reason. As the storm continued to rage, the town of Willow Creek waited and hoped. People stayed inside, watching the rain through their windows, unaware of the hero moving through the streets. Max was ready for whatever came next. He had saved the children and rescued a helpless puppy, but he knew the night was far from over. Something was coming, something hidden in the storm, and Max was determined to uncover it. In the distance, a faint light flickered. Max's ears twitched. His eyes narrowed, focusing on the movement. There was a sound, a whisper beneath the roar of the storm, that only he could hear. He let out a low, warning growl, signaling to Sam that this was only the beginning. The storm had revealed danger, and Max was ready to face it. The brave canine dog stood tall in the rain, soaked but unbroken. He had faced floods, wind, and fear, and he would face whatever came next. Max was not just a dog, he was a guardian, a hero who risked everything to protect those in need. And tonight the storm had a secret, one that would shock the entire town once it was revealed. Max could feel it, deep in his instincts. Something extraordinary awaited them, and only his courage could guide the way. The storm showed no sign of slowing as Willow Creek struggled under its force. Rain poured in sheets and the wind whipped through the streets like a wild animal. Trees bent dangerously and loose signs slammed into walls. Yet in the midst of the chaos, Max, the brave canine dog, moved steadily through the flooded streets, his golden brown fur soaked but his spirit unwavering. Officer Sam followed closely, holding the small puppy they had rescued. The children, Lily and Timmy, were safe in the neighbor's house, wrapped in blankets and fed hot chocolate. But Sam could not stop worrying. Max's alert behavior told him that danger still lingered somewhere in the storm. Max's sharp eyes scanned the street. His ears twitched at every sound, the rush of water, the creak of a sign, the distant roll of thunder. But there was one sound that stood out above all, a faint scratching, coming from the abandoned warehouse at the edge of the town. The warehouse had been empty for years. Its windows were broken and its doors creaked with the slightest breeze. Few people dared go near it, even in calm weather. Tonight, the storm turned it into a dark, intimidating silhouette. Max growled low, signaling to Sam that something unusual was happening. Sam nodded, understanding the warning. "Let's check it out, Max, but stay close," he said. The dog's tail flicked slightly and he ran ahead, moving through the water as if it were nothing. Sam followed, careful not to slip on the hidden debris under the rain. As they approached the warehouse, the scratching grew louder. Max stopped at the entrance, sniffing the air. The smell was strange, a mix of wet wood and something metallic. Sam shined his flashlight toward the broken door. The beam cut through the darkness, reflecting off puddles and broken glass. Inside, the warehouse was barely visible, filled with old crates, abandoned tools, and piles of junk. Max padded cautiously inside, his paws making soft splashes on the wet floor. Sam followed, holding the flashlight steady. The scratching sound continued, echoing through the empty space. Max's nose twitched. He knew that whatever was inside was alive. Suddenly, a faint whimper reached their ears. Max froze, ears pointing straight ahead. He sniffed the air and barked softly, signaling that they were close. Sam's heart beat faster. "Max, what is it?" he whispered, though he already sensed the answer. They moved deeper into the warehouse. The whimpering grew clearer, and now Sam could see movement near a stack of old crates. Max ran forward, nudging the crates with his nose. A small muddy hole appeared, revealing a tiny figure trapped underneath. Sam rushed forward and helped lift the crates. Beneath them was a young boy, soaked and shivering. His clothes were torn and his face was pale from fear and cold. Sam's heart sank. "Oh my goodness. Are you okay?" he asked, kneeling beside the boy. The boy looked up with wide, frightened eyes. I got lost. And the storm. It trapped me," he stammered. Max nuzzled him gently, licking his hair, and the boy's trembling eased slightly. The puppy in Sam's arms whined as if sensing a new friend in need of comfort. Sam wrapped the boy in his jacket, and Max stayed close, protective as ever. "You're safe now. Don't worry," Sam said. "We'll get you out." The boy nodded, tears mixing with the rain on his face. Max barked, almost as if urging the boy to stand. With Sam's help, they guided him out of the warehouse. The wind howled and the rain lashed against them, but Max moved steadily, leading the way through the storm. When they reached the street, Sam noticed that the boy's eyes were scanning the area nervously. "Is there anyone else in the warehouse?" he asked. The boy shook his head, but Max's instincts told a different story. The dog's ears twitched, and he sniffed the air again. There was another scent, something unusual, metallic and sharp. It was coming from the far corner of the warehouse. Sam followed Max's gaze. "What is it, boy? Another person?" Max barked sharply, then turned and ran back toward the warehouse. Sam hesitated but knew he could not leave the dog behind. He followed, holding the boy close as they re-entered the dark building. In the far corner, hidden behind a pile of broken furniture, they found a large metal chest. Water had seeped inside it, and the lid was slightly open. Max sniffed it, growling low. Sam's curiosity was mixed with caution. He slowly lifted the lid and gasped. Inside the chest were hundreds of papers, maps, and strange devices that no one in Willow Creek had ever seen. The papers were old but carefully preserved, showing plans of the town, secret tunnels, and hidden rooms. Some devices looked like tools, but others were unrecognizable. Sam picked one up carefully, turning it over in his hands. He had no idea what it did, but he knew it was important. Max barked again, more urgently this time, as if telling Sam that the discovery was not safe yet. The storm seemed louder inside the warehouse, and a sudden crash of thunder shook the walls. The boy clung to Sam's side, frightened, while Max stayed in front of the chest, protective and alert. This is unbelievable," Sam muttered. He carefully placed the papers and devices in his bag. Max sniffed each item, making sure nothing was missing. There was something mysterious here, something hidden for years, and now the storm had revealed it. Suddenly, the warehouse door banged open, pushed by the wind. A heavy beam fell, narrowly missing Sam and the boy. Max jumped in front of them, growling at the moving shadows. His bravery and quick reflexes saved them from serious harm. Sam steadied the boy and looked around. The storm was relentless, but Max's courage never wavered. Outside, the rain continued to pour, and the town streets were rivers of water. Sam knew they had to get the discovery back to safety. He and Max carefully exited the warehouse, holding the chest of papers and devices. Max led the way, moving through the water with ease, while Sam carried the boy and kept the chest dry. Back at the town hall, where it was safer and drier, Sam placed the chest on a table. Max sat beside it, alert and watchful. The boy, now calmer, explained how he had gotten lost during the storm while trying to find his dog. "I didn't know where to go," he said. "I ran inside the warehouse, but I couldn't get out." Sam nodded, understanding the fear the boy must have felt. Max wagged his tail slightly, then laid down beside the chest, guarding it like a treasure. Sam examined the papers carefully. They were filled with secrets about Willow Creek, hidden passageways, and instructions for strange devices. Some of the maps showed areas that even Sam had never seen before. The discovery was shocking. Who had hidden this here and why? And how long had it been waiting for someone brave enough to find it? Max seemed to sense the importance of the discovery. He stayed close, occasionally sniffing the papers and devices as if making sure they were safe. Sam realized that without Max, none of this would have been found. The dog had not only saved lives, but also uncovered a secret that could change everything about the town. The storm outside raged on, but inside the town hall, there was a moment of calm. The children were safe, the mysterious chest was secure, and Max, the heroic canine dog, had proven once again why he was a true hero. Sam looked at Max with pride. "You've done more than anyone could ask tonight, Max," he said. Max barked softly as if acknowledging the praise, but his eyes remained alert. Even as the town celebrated the rescue of the children and the bravery of Max, the secret chest held a mystery that was far from over. What was inside these papers? Who had hidden them and why? Max had uncovered the answer, but Sam knew they were only at the beginning. The storm had revealed the first part of a hidden truth, and the brave dog would be the key to discovering the rest. The night continued, the wind howling and rain falling, but Willow Creek had hope. Max had shown that courage, loyalty, and sharp instincts could overcome fear and danger. The heroic dog had risked everything in the brutal storm, and the town would never forget his bravery. But what lay hidden in the chest was a mystery waiting to be solved, and Max would be ready for whatever came next. The storm had brought danger, but it had also brought discovery. And in the heart of it all, Max stood tall, wet but proud, a guardian whose courage could not be shaken. The storm continued to batter Willow Creek, but inside the town hall, a sense of cautious calm had settled. Max, the heroic canine dog, sat beside the chest, his wet fur slowly drying in the dim light. His ears twitched at every sound outside, alert to the raging storm but also ready for whatever mystery lay hidden in the chest. Officer Sam knelt beside it, carefully examining the papers and devices they had rescued from the warehouse. The chest was heavier than it looked, filled with stacks of papers, maps, and strange mechanical devices. Sam spread the papers across a large table, trying to make sense of the hidden secrets. Maps showed tunnels running beneath the town, passages that led to places Sam had never known existed. There were plans for hidden rooms, some marked with symbols he did not recognize, and notes written in careful handwriting describing tools that seemed unusual, even for modern technology. Max sniffed at the edge of the table, his nose twitching as he examined the strange devices. One looked like a small metal box with a dial, another like a tool with sharp edges but no clear purpose. Sam carefully picked up the metal box. It was heavy and cold. Turning it over in his hands, he wondered what it could do. Max whined softly, nudging his leg as if urging him to look closer. "Good boy, Max. I think you're right," Sam said. He opened the box, and inside was a small folded map, different from the others. It was old, the edges frayed, but it showed something new. A hidden path from the outskirts of Willow Creek into the dense forest nearby. Max's ears perked up and he barked once, clearly sensing the importance of the discovery. Sam looked at the boy they had rescued from the warehouse. "Do you think you can remember the way you got trapped?" he asked gently. The boy shook his head, his eyes wide with fear. "I ran in the dark. I don't remember. I was just scared," he whispered. Sam nodded. "That's okay. We'll figure it out." Max stepped closer, resting his paw on the boy's shoulder, offering comfort and courage. Sam knew he could not explore the tunnels alone. The storm was still dangerous and the tunnels could be unstable, but he also realized that Max would be the perfect partner. The dog's senses were sharp and he had already proven his bravery. If there was danger in the tunnels, Max would lead them safely. The rain outside lessened slightly, though the wind still howled through the town. Sam decided it was time to investigate further. He packed the papers carefully. making sure the maps were not damaged, and secured the devices in his bag. Max stood beside him, alert and ready. The puppy they had rescued huddled under a blanket, looking at Max with admiration, while the boy clung to Sam, still frightened but trusting the brave dog. They left the town hall, moving carefully through the flooded streets. Max led the way, his paws splashing through the water as he sniffed the air for danger. Sam followed closely, holding the bag with the devices and papers. The storm had made the streets dangerous with fallen branches and debris in their path, but Max navigated it easily. His training and instincts made him an unstoppable guide. Soon they reached the edge of the forest. The map from the chest showed a small hidden entrance that led to the tunnels beneath the town. Sam shone his flashlight on the area. Hidden behind thick bushes, the entrance was just large enough for him to squeeze through. Max sniffed the ground, then barked once as if saying, "This is the right place." Carefully, Sam lifted the boy and the puppy through the entrance. Max went first, moving swiftly into the darkness. The tunnel was narrow and damp, with water dripping from the ceiling. The walls were made of old stone, and the air smelled of earth and age. Max's paws made soft sounds on the wet floor, his ears alert to every echo. Sam followed, holding the flashlight high, making sure no detail was missed. The deeper they went, the darker and colder the tunnel became. Max stopped suddenly, sniffing the air. Sam paused, holding his breath. There was a faint sound, soft, almost like whispers, but it could have been the wind moving through cracks in the walls. Max growled softly, signaling that something was ahead. They turned a corner and found a small underground chamber. The chamber was filled with old equipment, boxes, and strange symbols on the walls. Sam's eyes widened. This was more than a tunnel. It was a secret underground facility, carefully hidden from the town above. Max stepped forward, sniffing every corner, making sure the space was safe. Sam noticed a large metal door at the far end of the chamber. It was locked, but the map indicated that it led to something important. He examined the devices from the chest, trying to figure out if any could open it. Max nudged him gently, as if encouraging him to keep searching. Sam tried the dial from the metal box, turning it slowly. There was a click and the door creaked open. Inside, they found a room filled with more papers, tools, and maps. On a table in the center was a large book, old and worn, its pages yellowed with age. Sam opened it carefully. Inside were records of Willow Creek going back decades. The book detailed secret paths, hidden passages, and inventions created by people who wanted to protect the town from dangers unknown. Max sniffed the air, sensing that the room held more than just history. Suddenly, a faint movement caught Sam's eye. A shadow moved across the far wall, but when he looked again, there was nothing there. Max growled low, ears forward, tail stiff. Sam's heart raced. The tunnels were more than just abandoned spaces. Someone or something had been here recently. Sam carefully placed the book in his bag, making sure nothing was disturbed. Max stayed alert, moving toward the far corner of the room. There, hidden behind some crates, was a small trapdoor. Max barked once, pawing at it. Sam knelt down and opened it slowly. The trapdoor led to another narrow passage, one that went even deeper underground. The air grew colder as they descended. Water dripped from the ceiling, and the walls were damp and slippery. Max led the way, moving with confidence, while Sam followed closely, holding the flashlight and keeping the boy and the puppy safe. The passages twisted and turned, leading them further into the hidden heart of Willow Creek. At the end of the passage, they found a small chamber filled with old tools and boxes. But in the center of the room was a large, covered object. Max approached it cautiously, sniffing the air. Sam pulled back the cover and gasped. It was a machine unlike anything he had seen before. It looked like a complex combination of gears, levers, and metal panels, all connected in a precise way. The discovery was incredible. Willow Creek had a hidden past, and this machine was part of it. Sam wondered what it could do and why it had been hidden for so long. Max nudged the machine, growling softly, sensing its importance. The dog had always known when danger or mystery was near, and this was both. Suddenly, the ground shook slightly. Water splashed from a crack in the tunnel wall. Max barked loudly, warning Sam that something was wrong. The storm above was not the only danger. The tunnels were unstable, and whatever had been hidden for decades might be dangerous if disturbed. Sam looked at Max. "We need to be careful, boy. But we also need to understand this," he said. Max barked in agreement, standing protectively in front of the machine. The boy watched in awe while the puppy whimpered softly, sensing the tension. Sam examined the machine more closely. It had levers, dials, and buttons, but no instructions. Max sniffed each part, alert to anything unusual. Sam realized that the machine might hold secrets the town had never known. Whoever had hidden it had wanted it protected, and now it was their responsibility to uncover the truth safely. For a moment, the storm outside seemed distant. Inside the tunnels, the world was quiet except for dripping water, and the soft hum of the machine which seemed to respond to their presence. Max stayed close, ready to protect everyone from any threat. The bravery and instincts of the heroic canine dog were unmatched, and Sam knew that with Max by his side, they could face whatever mystery awaited. The discovery of the hidden machine marked a turning point. Willow Creek's history was more mysterious than anyone had imagined, and the storm had revealed secrets that had been carefully hidden for decades. Max had not only saved lives in the storm, but he had also guided them to something extraordinary. The heroic dog's courage and sharp instincts were now the key to uncovering the town's hidden past and protecting it from any danger that might still be lurking in the shadows. The storm had finally begun to ease, leaving Willow Creek wet and battered, but the town still held a quiet tension. Inside the tunnels beneath the forest, Officer Sam, Max, the rescued boy, and the small puppy stood before the mysterious machine. The metal gears and levers gleamed faintly in the light of Sam's flashlight. Water dripped from the ceiling, echoing softly in the chamber. The air smelled damp and earthy, but there was also something electric, almost alive, surrounding the machine. Max stood in front of the device, ears alert and tail stiff. He sniffed every corner, every edge, as though he could sense its secret. Sam had spent hours trying to understand the machine, examining every lever and dial, but it was unlike anything he had ever seen. It looked old yet strangely advanced, as if it belonged to a time both forgotten and ahead of its era. "We have to figure out what this does," Sam said, his voice steady despite the tension. "Max, stay close. I don't know what might happen." Max barked softly, nudging Sam's hand with his nose, offering silent support. The boy watched nervously, holding the small puppy tightly. "Is it dangerous?" he asked, his voice trembling. Sam shook his head. "I don't know yet. That's why we need to be careful." Sam studied the machine's dials. One had strange symbols etched into it. Another looked like a small compass. As he turned a lever, the machine vibrated slightly, and a faint hum filled the air. Max growled low, his eyes narrowing. Sam stopped immediately. "Okay, I think that's enough for now," he said. The machine was active, but it had not yet revealed its purpose. The boy peeked at the device. "It's moving," he whispered. Max barked sharply, almost as if warning the boy to step back. Sam nodded. "Stay close to me and don't touch anything," he instructed. The puppy whimpered softly, sensing the tension, while Max pressed himself between Sam and the device, protective and alert. Sam took a deep breath and examined the maps they had found in the chest. One map showed a series of tunnels leading to different parts of the town, all connected to the forest. There were markings on the map that matched the symbols on the machine. Sam's mind raced. Perhaps the machine controlled some hidden part of the town, something long forgotten. Max sniffed the map, then nudged Sam's hand. It was clear the dog knew this discovery was important. Carefully, Sam moved a second lever. This time, the machine whirred louder, and a small panel slid open, revealing a glowing crystal inside. Light filled the chamber, reflecting on the damp walls. Max stepped back slightly but stayed alert. The boy's eyes widened in wonder. "It's glowing," he said softly. Sam nodded. "Yes, but we still don't know what it does." As the light from the crystal grew brighter, the tunnel walls began to shake. A low rumble echoed through the passages. Max barked and positioned himself between Sam and the boy, ready to protect them. The puppy whimpered but stayed close to Max, finding comfort in the dog's bravery. Sam realized the machine was not just a simple device. It was powerful, capable of affecting the tunnels themselves. The shaking grew stronger, and suddenly a section of the wall shifted, revealing a hidden passageway. Sam's eyes widened. "Max, did you feel that?" he asked. Max barked twice, then ran toward the new passage. Sam followed with the boy and the puppy, carrying the glowing crystal carefully in his bag. The new passage was narrow and steep, descending deeper underground. Water trickled along the stone floor, but Max moved confidently, leading the way. At the bottom, they entered a large underground chamber. The walls were lined with shelves filled with strange objects and more glowing crystals. Ancient machines stood along the sides, some partially covered with dust and moss. Sam's heart raced. This was not just a hidden part of the town. It was a secret laboratory, abandoned for decades but filled with advanced technology that no one in Willow Creek had ever seen. Max sniffed each machine, ears alert, then barked at a large pedestal in the center of the room. Sam approached and saw a panel covered with symbols similar to the ones on the machine upstairs. The glowing crystal fit perfectly into a slot on the pedestal. Sam carefully placed it in, and the pedestal hummed to life, casting bright light across the chamber. Suddenly, a holographic map appeared above the pedestal. It showed the entire town, highlighting streets, buildings, and underground tunnels. There were markers in red, showing areas of potential danger. Sam's eyes widened in shock. The machine was not just a relic. It was a protective system, designed to monitor and guard the town. Max barked, clearly understanding the importance of their discovery. "This is incredible," Sam whispered. "Someone built this to protect Willow Creek, but why did they hide it?" Max growled softly, sensing that more secrets were still hidden. The boy stepped closer, eyes wide with curiosity. "Can it help people?" he asked. Sam nodded slowly. "I think that's exactly what it was meant to do." As Sam examined the map, he noticed something unusual. One of the red markers on the map was blinking rapidly, indicating a potential danger nearby. Max's ears twitched. He sniffed the air and growled, moving toward the direction of the marker. Sam and the boy followed, trusting Max's instincts. The puppy scampered alongside them, following Max closely. The marker led them to a section of tunnels filled with water. The storm above had caused some flooding, and the path was slippery and dangerous. Max moved carefully, testing the ground before stepping forward. Sam followed closely, holding the boy's hand, while the puppy tried to stay dry on higher ground. The water splashed around them, making every step a challenge, but Max's confidence never wavered. As they reached the source of the marker, they found a broken pipe leaking water into the tunnel. The force of the leak had weakened the ground, causing instability in the surrounding walls. Max barked loudly, warning Sam that the area was unsafe. Sam nodded, understanding the risk. "We need to fix this before it gets worse," he said. Max growled, then sniffed the area, clearly indicating where the repair should start. Using tools from the underground laboratory, Sam worked quickly to secure the broken pipe. Max stayed beside him, alert to any changes in the water flow or sound of shifting walls. The boy watched, fascinated by the dog's intelligence and bravery. The puppy whimpered softly, but Max remained calm, offering silent reassurance. Finally, the pipe was secure, and the water flow slowed. The ground stabilized and the tunnels were safe again. Max barked once as if signaling that the danger had passed. Sam smiled, patting the dog on the head. "You did it, Max. You helped save the tunnels," he said. The boy hugged Max tightly, whispering words of thanks. The puppy wagged its tiny tail, happy to be safe. With the immediate danger resolved, Sam turned his attention back to the pedestal and the holographic map. The system seemed to respond to their presence, lighting up other parts of the town and highlighting areas that might need attention. Max barked again, nudging Sam's hand. The dog seemed to understand that their work was far from over. Sam realized that the storm had revealed more than just danger. It had uncovered a hidden system designed to protect the town. Max had not only saved lives during the storm, but he had also guided them to a secret that could change the future of Willow Creek. The heroic dog had risked everything, facing darkness, water, and uncertainty. And now he was the key to understanding the town's hidden history. As they prepared to leave the underground chamber, Max stayed close, watching every corner. The boy held the small puppy, his eyes wide with wonder, while Sam carefully secured the glowing crystal and other important objects. Together they climbed back through the tunnels, emerging near the forest at the edge of town. The storm had lessened, and the first light of dawn began to break through the clouds. Max shook off the remaining water, standing proudly beside Sam. The boy hugged him again, whispering words of gratitude. Sam looked at the heroic dog with pride. "You've done more than anyone could ask, Max. You've saved lives, uncovered secrets, and shown courage beyond measure," he said. Max barked, softly, acknowledging the praise, but his eyes remained alert, ready for whatever challenge came next. Willow Creek was safe for now, but the discovery of the underground laboratory and the hidden protective system was only the beginning. Max had proven that bravery, intelligence, and loyalty could overcome even the most dangerous storms. The heroic canine dog had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, and the town would soon learn the full importance of what he had uncovered. The storm had ended, but Max's mission was just beginning. The underground secrets, the hidden tunnels, and the protective system held mysteries that would shape the future of Willow Creek. And Max, the courageous and loyal canine dog, would be at the center of it all, guiding, protecting, and uncovering the truth for the town he loved. The sun rose slowly over Willow Creek, casting a soft glow on the wet streets. The storm had passed, but the town was still recovering from the heavy rain and strong winds. Fallen branches lined the roads, puddles reflected the morning light, and neighbors came out to check on each other. Yet the biggest discovery of the night remained hidden in the tunnels beneath the forest, where Max, the heroic canine dog, and Officer Sam had uncovered the town's greatest secret. Sam, the rescued boy, the small puppy, and Max returned to the underground chamber. The pedestal with the glowing crystal still hummed softly, illuminating the walls with a gentle light. Max sat in front of it, alert, his golden brown fur drying in the calm air of the chamber. He sniffed around, ensuring the area was safe before Sam approached. "Max, we need to find out exactly what this system can do," Sam said. The dog barked softly, nudging Sam's hand as if encouraging him. The boy watched with wide eyes, still amazed by the glowing crystals and mysterious devices. The puppy wiggled happily, following Max wherever he went. Sam examined the holographic map that floated above the pedestal. The map showed Willow Creek in intricate detail, marking streets, buildings, and underground tunnels. Several red markers blinked in different areas, indicating locations that might need attention. Sam realized that the system was a town-wide protective network, hidden for decades by people who had cared deeply for the safety of the community. Max barked sharply, pulling Sam's attention toward a section of the map. The red marker was blinking rapidly in the forest outside town, near the river. Sam's heart raced. "Max, do you think there's another danger?" he asked. The dog growled low, tail stiff, and moved toward the exit of the chamber. Sam nodded, understanding that Max had sensed something important. Carefully, they made their way through the tunnels, following the path that Max led. The tunnels were damp but safe now, thanks to the repairs from the previous night. Water dripped from the ceilings, but Max navigated each step with confidence. The boy clung to Sam, the puppy held in his small arms while Max stayed at the front, ears twitching at every sound. Emerging near the forest, the fresh air was filled with the scent of rain and wet earth. Max immediately sniffed the ground, leading Sam to the riverbank where the red marker had appeared on the map. The water had risen from the storm, but nothing looked immediately dangerous. Yet Max's growl told Sam that something was hidden beneath the surface. Sam knelt and shone his flashlight on the river. There, partially covered by debris, was a large metal crate. Max barked loudly, pawing at it and circling around it. Sam moved closer and carefully lifted the lid. Inside were more glowing crystals and additional papers, similar to what they had found in the warehouse and underground chamber. It became clear that the system was connected through multiple points across the town. The boy gasped. "It's all connected?" he asked. Sam nodded. "Yes, these crystals and devices form a protective network. Whoever built this wanted to keep Willow Creek safe from harm." Max barked in agreement, then sniffed the edge of the crate. Something about the smell made him growl softly. Suddenly, a weak sound came from the river. Max perked up, ears forward, and barked sharply. Sam and the boy looked toward the water and saw a small wooden boat caught in the current, with a person trapped inside. Without hesitation, Max ran along the riverbank, barking loudly. Sam followed as fast as he could. The puppy squirmed in the boy's arms, excited and scared at the same time. Max reached the boat first. The person inside was an elderly man, struggling to hold onto the edges as the current pushed him toward rocks. Max leapt into the water, swimming powerfully to the boat. His paws pushed against the strong current, and with careful nudges he steadied the boat. Sam arrived moments later and grabbed the man's hand, helping him into shallow water. The elderly man was shaken but unharmed. "Thank you. I didn't think I would make it," the man said, his voice trembling. Max barked softly, nudging the man gently with his nose. Sam smiled. "You're safe now." Max made sure of that. The boy and the puppy watched in awe. They realized that Max had saved another life, just as he had saved them during the storm. Sam looked at the crate and the glowing crystals again. It became clear that the network was designed not just to monitor the town, but to protect people directly. The crystals responded to danger, highlighting areas that needed attention and guiding rescuers to those in need. Max's keen instincts and courage were the key to unlocking the system's full potential. The elderly man explained that he had lived in Willow Creek his whole life and had heard stories of hidden tunnels and secret devices but never imagined they were real. "This town has always had people who cared deeply about its safety," he said. "It seems they left a system to watch over it even when no one knew it existed." Sam nodded, understanding the importance of the discovery. Max barked again, this time toward the forest. Sam followed and saw that another red marker was blinking on the map. Max moved toward it, guiding them to a hill where water had formed a small but dangerous mudslide during the storm. Sam realized that the network had detected the instability and highlighted it on the map to prevent harm. Max's presence ensured that no one would be caught unaware. Carefully, Sam marked the area for repair and guided the boy and puppy to safety. Max stayed alert, watching the surroundings, ready to act if danger returned. The town had survived the storm, but the hidden system and Max's bravery meant that future emergencies could be managed more safely. As the morning sun rose higher, casting golden light over the wet town, Sam reflected on the events of the past night. Max had risked his life in the storm, saved children, rescued a puppy, and guided them to uncover the town's hidden protective system. The heroic dog's courage, intelligence, and loyalty had revealed secrets that could protect Willow Creek for generations. The boy hugged Max tightly, whispering words of thanks. The puppy wagged its tiny tail, looking up at Max with admiration. Sam patted Max on the head. "You are more than a hero, Max. You are the heart of Willow Creek's safety," he said. Max barked softly, eyes shining with pride, but always alert, ready for any challenge. Word of Max's heroism spread quickly through Willow Creek. Neighbors came to see the brave canine dog who had saved lives and uncovered the town's secret. Children cheered, adults praised, and even the town's mayor visited to commend Max and Officer Sam. The hidden network of crystals and tunnels became a symbol of the town's resilience, and Max was recognized as its guardian. Sam realized that the discovery was only the beginning. With Max leading the way, the town could use the system to monitor potential dangers, prevent accidents, and ensure the safety of all residents. Max's courage had not only saved lives during the storm, but had also uncovered a legacy of protection that would benefit Willow Creek forever. As the town slowly returned to normal, Max sat proudly at Sam's side, watching the children play in puddles and the neighbors repair their homes. The puppy ran around happily, occasionally returning to Max for guidance. The boy followed Max everywhere, inspired by the dog's bravery. Max's eyes remained sharp, ears twitching at every sound, ready to act if danger returned. That night, Willow Creek was peaceful. The storm had passed, but the town would never forget the heroic canine dog who risked everything to save lives and uncover the secrets hidden beneath their feet. Max had shown that courage, intelligence, and loyalty could overcome even the most powerful storms. The glowing crystals from the hidden system were secured in a safe location, ready to guide the town whenever needed. Max had proven that one brave dog could make a difference beyond imagination. His story became a legend in Willow Creek, inspiring courage and hope in every resident. Officer Sam watched Max sleep by the fireplace that evening, the puppy curled up beside him and the boy resting nearby. "You've done more than anyone could ask, Max. The town owes you everything," Sam whispered. Max wagged his tail slightly, eyes closing, but his ears twitched as he listened to every sound in the quiet town. The heroic canine dog had faced brutal storms, danger, and the unknown. He had discovered secrets that no one else could, and his bravery had ensured the safety of Willow Creek. Max was more than a dog. He was a guardian, a hero, and a symbol of hope. The town knew that no matter what storms came their way, Max would be there watching, protecting, and guiding them, just as he had done when the storm first hit. Willow Creek slept safely that night, under the protection of the town's hidden system and the watchful eyes of Max, the heroic canine dog who risked everything to save lives. His story of bravery, loyalty, and courage would be told for generations, inspiring everyone to believe that even in the darkest storms, heroes could rise and hope could shine brighter than any stormy night.